Shut up, Froggy's Fog! This thing is awesome!
Let's go to Coman and Mark Skehan.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. What are you doing there, Ben? You're going crazy. G'day, everyone. I'm Pete Techman Coman. He's Mark the Bearded Tech Scan. We are the Tech Effect Live, coming to you from the AVIXA TV studio here at InfoComm 2025. Mark.
Pete.
What was that? What was that? What just happened?
Testing 1, 2.
What?
Hello. Pete.
Yes.
How you doing, mate?
Great. I'm actually tired. I'm really tired.
Oh, yeah?
Zero partying, all work, no play, unfortunately.
Really?
There we go.
There we go. we're back, baby.
Yes,
Look,
a lot of work.
Live TV.
Yes.
Things happen.
That's
This
it.
is technology.
Never work, what they say, never work with children or animals or Mark the Bearded Tech
Well,
Scan.
Mark the Bearded Tech Scan,
That's what
because
they
if
say.
it can be broken,
Yeah.
I will break it.
Yes.
Anyway, Pete, how are you, mate?
I am buggered.
You are buggered?
I'm buggered. That's the official Australian term
Yeah,
for tired.
buggered, mate.
Yeah, for those that
Yeah.
don't know.
What have you been up to today? You've had a very, very busy today.
Yes. Well, this morning had to kick off editing videos, posting videos, as we do, because that's our job here at
How's the Wi-Fi?
InfoComm. Yeah, trying to find decent Wi-Fi. That's been a problem.
Yep.
So I've been doing that, but also my real job is actually as a consultant. And today we had one of our clients that was at the show, and they wanted me to show them a few products. So I took them around.
Really? So where'd you go?
Well, a couple of the products I wanted to show them were on the Sony stand, so I took them to show them the Sony deep black non-glare displays.
Yep.
And
Still leading the way.
look, but it's one thing you talk to someone about that product, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, but it's not until you see it in the flesh. And once again, I mean, Sony had them on display. They had their normal display, their deep black non-glare beside each other,
Yeah.
two Sony displays, and they had content on it. I'm like, no, turn them off, right? And
Yeah.
it's not until you see them when they're off. One looks like a mirror, and the other one is just no reflection. It looks amazing.
Yeah, well, and the cool thing is they put their own display there, and as the
That's right.
comparison-
They're not bagging a competitor.
Yeah.
They're saying, hey, this is our normal display, and this is
Yep.
the deep black non-glare.
Yeah, 100%. What else did you see at the Sony stand?
Well, I wanted to show them the PTZ tracking
PTZ.
camera. PTZ, well, whatever. And the
Australia, mate.
A12 and the A40, and which is the most phenomenal PTZ
One of the best, if
tracking
not
camera. I think
best
it's.
on the market.
I personally, I think it's the best. I've seen a lot, and it's amazing.
So it's been around a couple of years?
Maybe
maybe
at the most 2 years,
Maybe
but what they keep doing is updating the firmare on it to make it
Okay.
better, right? So they're on firmware version 3 now.
Right.
I think version 2 they introduced interoperability or compatibility with WebEx or Cisco
Okay.
VC solutions, so you could actually control it natively from the Cisco touch panel.
Very nice.
But it's an amazing camera. Like the options, the tracking is so smooth.
Yep.
A lot of other cameras, like you might have someone, like if we had a tracking camera now, every little movement, it would also move with
Yeah.
you. Where the Sony's like, oh, well, they're not actually, sure, they might be rocking, but they're not actually moving out of their position. So the camera goes, well, I don't need to move.
No seasickness.
No what?
No seasickness.
No, that's the other thing.
yeah.
And also, it's so smooth. So unlike the other ones, they tend to be a bit jerky. They go, oh, the person's moving, they're
Yeah.
like this, where it is just really silky smooth. So
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. It's a beautiful camera.
Yeah.
So
100%.
anyone who hasn't seen it, head to the Sony stand, the SRG A12, A40, 12 times zoom, 40 times zoom, depending on the
Yeah,
application.
Same technology, different zoom.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they've built that technology into some of their other cameras as well. But I think for general use, I mean, I don't know, street price, $3,000 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not an overly expensive camera. I specify that camera whether I need the tracking or not. If I need a PTZ camera in a space, I'll specify that camera because
Really?
just the camera in general
Yeah.
is amazing. And if you want, I mean, basically, you're kind of really getting the tracking, the auto tracking for free. And auto tracking, auto framing. You can set up zones, exclusion zones, or tracking zones. All of that, like it's all there in the software. It's pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Where else did you go?
I also took them to Silicon Core because on this project, this university client, there's a lot of LED.
Yeah.
A lot of projects have got a lot of LED in it.
You're a big
these days.
user of Silicon Core.
What's that?
You're a big user of Silicon Core.
Once again, I mean, I like the product. I think they manufacture their own driver chips. They make a quality product. They control the whole process, and I think
So the quality controls.
That's the thing, right? They're not relying on others for different components, so they control that. And at the end of the day, I get it that resolution or picture quality can be subjective, but what's not subjective is how much power it uses and how much heat it produces.
14 watts or something.
It was
isn't
crazy.
Like,
Like, it was ridiculous. And it's not even warm. Like, you touch it. Like, in the past, LED would be warm to touch, right?
And burn your retinas just
Yeah,
about.
that's right. So I don't know. I just think they make a great solution. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
So this morning we went to the Lightwear booth.
That's right. Yes,
We went to the Lightwear booth, and it was. Look, we're both you and I are quite familiar with Lightwear.
Yep.
But what I think is really cool now is they're really promoting their
journey,
the
evolution.
Their evolution's the word I'm looking for. Thanks. Of the whole Taurus UCX range, you know, from the HC40, which is the OG. You know, we saw that in 2020, end
Late
of 2020.
2020,
Yeah. Which changed the game. Really,
Absolutely.
for UC.
Absolutely.
You know, so bringing everything.
Well, for small to medium meeting spaces, it was a game changer especially with the USB-C support.
Yeah, and brought everything into all the cabling into one box, and then presents to the user.
Yes.
One single cable.
That's
which
it.
is that's a game changer.
Yeah.
So and then rolled into their new products, which I think you had a look at.
Well, what I really loved was, I've always been a big fan of the Taurus UCX range.
As a whole.
As a whole. Like they have many boxes available.
But it comes with one big problem.
Well, one problem was, they're fine. If you want to mount this under a desk or behind a display, not a problem.
Yeah.
And it has cables that come out the front and cables that come out the back. But
And under a table, that's
fine.
no one cares.
No, that's right. No one sees it, and same with behind the display. You want it to be thin, so it's you're not pushing the display out, for example.
Yeah.
But when you go to put that in a rack, well, suddenly you've got, how do I mount? It takes up a whole shelf, right? Because it's kind of like, I've got cables going this way, I've got cables going this way. It's just messy. I've got an external power supply. It was never built to be put in a rack.
Yeah.
But now they have a solution, so they've built a 1RU rack version of that.
Yeah, and so what about the power supply though?
Well, they built in the power supply, so in that 1RU model,
nice.
the power supply is built in, so you don't have the external power supply like the standalone version.
I hate little plug packs. There's a fastest way to make a rack messy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just noise in there, noise and clutter. So the smart dock was the other thing we looked at, yeah?
Yeah, as we know, if you buy a laptop and you want to have a docking station, you need to buy that manufacturer's docking station. Whether it be a Dell or Microsoft, HP, whatever it may be. And then you're kind of stuck, you're kind of locked in, right? Where and also it only supports that particular, manufacturer. So they've built a vendor agnostic docking station, and so it also supports Mac as well, so you can plug that in.
Yeah.
It gives 100 watts of power, and also
one box for everything.
That's right. Yeah. And then with a lot of the other manufacturers, they actually have a cable that is
molded,
hardwired.
Yeah, molded into the box.
If something happens to the cable, you've got to get a whole new docking station.
Yeah.
Right? Where theirs is just unplug it.
Nice.
So,
nice.
What did you see?
I saw. Actually, the other one, the one really just blew my mind was Silica.
Right.
Silica.
Is that how you pronounce? How do you spell it?
I'm looking down here, but I haven't got my glasses on. If anyone knows, XILICA.
Right. It's pronounced Silica.
Silica.
Right.
So here's the thing. I thought it was.
What does it do?
I thought it was a new player in the market, right? I thought it had been around for 2 years. I saw them at ISE 6 months ago. But turns out they've been around since like 2002, I think it is. They were initially into that's processors and like speaker processing, and when you had processing outside, you know, a box for everything.
Yeah.
And then they moved.
The good old days.
Oh?
The good old days.
Good old days, yeah, about 10 RU
I got
of
a box
audio
for that.
processing. Yeah. And then they got acquired in 2020, and they fully spun it to the UC space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they built this thing, the Room Hub, right? And the whole pitch is one click, deploy in one click. Which, I mean, this thing physically is...
It's that big. It's that small, I should say.
Probably
It's
put your phone
Yeah.
on top, and it's, you know, maybe another half an inch wider. Like, it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's tiny. And it's not really just a DSP. It's like a whole... it's like a room deployments endpoint. IoT, actually, is what they call it. So the concept is that they manage all this from the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you can, from the cloud, you sit in your office, you go, I've got 20 rooms to do, you've got this mic, this camera in this room, and you know, you've got 20 all of the same, really compatible with the Shure MXA
920.
Yeah, the TCC2 from Seni.
Yep.
And you know, those real sort of popular mics, and the basic range of cameras. And you sit in your office and you go bang, 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 bang. You say, this is what the room is. You get a barcode scanner, you scan the box. At that point, you've then linked the room to the equipment from a barcode scanner via MAC address, right? Scanning the MAC address.
Yeah.
So when you, and you just go deploy, right? Then you, as an installer, you walk in and you go to the room and you plug it on the network and you plug all the stuff in and you don't touch it.
That's it?
That's it, right? It will go and look for the firmware update, get the latest
because
firmware.
it knows all the MAC addresses.
Because it knows the MAC addresses
so
of everything in its space.
Right, so it's like a pre-deployment tool.
Yeah.
Right, so you would turn around and you go, all right, I know all the MAC addresses, I put them in here, and do you have to tell it what device it is? Like, is it a display? Is there any of that?
No, there's pre-designed rooms, and if you want different combinations, you can choose, right?
Right.
So, there's a relatively small range at this point, but they're going to build it out. They want to make sure they really nail it. So once you go and plug it in, right, you literally just stand back, almost close the door, because it does this. You know, in the old days, in the home theatre room, you'd put the microphone out and do the swoops and all that sort of stuff and calibrate itself.
Before my time.
Not mine. But this is what it does. It'll send out all these noises and do a sweep of the room and basically calibrate itself to the room.
Yeah.
And then you can punch out like RT60 reports. It'll do it all for you.
Wow.
As well as then manage the room. So it's still live. And then you just go into the next one, do a next one, do a next one, do a next one, do a next one. So yeah, it's a very, very cool product. Like, it was just holy dooly, Batman. This is insane. You know,
that's awesome.
It's a really cool product. So,
oh, I should check that out.
Should check that. You should go and check that out. Yeah,
Yes.
I know you.
I was busy at the time, so that's why I didn't get to see it.
You've had a bit on, Pete.
Yes, there's a little bit going on.
All right.
A little bit going on.
Pete.
Yes.
We have got a special guest today.
Speaking of something that we should check out.
Speaking of something, I actually haven't had a chance
checked it out. Okay.
to check it out yet, but you have. We have got a really special guest, Balaji Krishnan. I've got it out.
Yeah.
All right, from Displace TV.
Yeah.
Balaji,
Here he is.
Come in, take a seat, mate.
Hey,
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming on the show, mate. It's founder of Displace TV.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So for those playing along at home, those who don't know, and for those who haven't seen this amazingly curated video that Pete's punched out into the LinkedIn Never, what is Displace TV? And
so Displace TV is the world's first truly wireless TV. When I say truly wireless, it gets wireless power and wireless data, and the TV is the first of its kind operated by batteries. So it has built-in battery that can last for up to 10 hours. But if we also have soundbars and speakers that you can attach to the TV that can last for up to 100 hours if you completely load, because the soundbars are also battery packs. So it's not only audio experience, but it's also going to be enhancing your battery life for the TV. So that's number one.
Yeah.
But number two is the most important thing, where the wall mounting system, we all know how hard it is to actually wall mount a TV drilling holes, bringing a handyman. We solved that.
And expensive. I mean, like you want a lot of displays. The bigger the display, the heavier it is.
Right.
And then we've got to put backing in the wall, and we've got to it's a task.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And once you wall mount it, people are not going to be taking it off because
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it, right? It's
Yeah.
going to be stuck. So, but we solved that. We wanted a truly smart screen that you should be able to move things around, and you should be able to place it on any surface that you want. If you want to take it by the pool and watch a game while by the pool, you should be able to do that. So we invented this new technology called active loop suction technology. So the TV is built with suction cups on the back, and you can literally pick up the TV and stick to any surface within 5 seconds. Any surface, drywall, painted wall, textured wall, including glass. We are the only TV that can be attached to a glass in the industry. So
it makes no difference what paint is on the wall. Like if it's a gloss or a matte, it makes no difference.
makes no difference, no. So it literally creates vacuum under 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds.
Really?
You should be able to stick to the wall, and if you want to move the TV, under 10 seconds you can detach it, and then you can actually take it to a different wall.
Okay. So, so many questions. Yeah.
Well, first
Mine's
of all,
going crazy.
I was going to say is that, so I came across Displace at CES a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember, like, there's so much tech at CES every year, and I remember walking past it. I didn't even see it. I think it was probably the first time you were there, and I saw this report after I'd already left, and it was like, oh, look at this amazing wireless display, and it sticks to any surface. I'm like, I was upset at myself that I'd missed it, right? And so the next year I made a point to actually find these guys to see it for myself. Like, I mean, I'm thinking the flexibility of having a fully wireless display, so battery powered, and you can attach it to any surface, is just wild. Like, it just blew my mind. And we heard that you were going to be at InfoComm this year, and that's why we reached out and we created a couple of videos and had a bit of fun in the process.
That was fun. That was real fun, yeah.
Attaching it to a van. I said to him, I was like, we got to challenge it. We can't just attach it to a wall. Come on, we got to think outside the box. And then I walked outside, and there's this big van outside, and I'm like, what about the van?
Yeah, that was Pete's idea.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here we go. Here we are.
Next minute, the drive, it's gone.
It's out the parking lot with this big bloody display stuck to the van. So it was quite funny. It was a lot of fun at the same time. But it's honestly, it's impressive technology, and this is your first InfoComm, right?
This is the first InfoComm, yeah. I mean, so we are a 2.5 years old company, and we launched in 2023 CES. As you know, we won the best of CES.
Yes,
But since then, we did a lot of design changes, iterated over the product, but we got a lot of interest from the pro AV market. All the way from trade show companies, museums, art galleries. So that is one of the reasons why we thought, okay, InfoComm should be the place where we should be. One is to show our product to potential customers, but also would like to understand more use cases, because we may not even be thinking about some use cases.
So you can chase into those markets, right?
Exactly, right. And the last 2 days have been super busy, and we heard a lot of really unique use cases.
Really?
Yeah. It's really cool.
I bet you've had this question 1,000 times, is what happens when the batteries go flat?
Right. So that is, since day one, we had this in mind, because if you are putting a battery-powered, a 55-inch 4K OLED screen on the wall, then you should be thinking about the safety system.
Yes.
So we built a phenomenal safety system called landing gear technology.
Landing gear.
You know what I worked out, right?
Yeah.
So when I did the interview with him and we did the whole video and stuff like, they've got a name for everything.
Yeah,
everything,
right.
every button, everything, and it's awesome. It's landing gear technology.
You're a smart marketing person.
Active vacuum loop?
Active loop vacuum technology.
Oh, there you go. See?
Or we call active loop vacuum suction technology.
Yes.
But the landing gear technology is one of my favorites. This is one of the things that I tell my friends, that this is probably by far the complicated technology that in my career I've ever worked with, but that should never be used by people, because it's like airbags for cars.
Exactly.
Right. So but it is very important. It's very important for the TV. What happens is, if the battery runs out, or you could also charge the TV. So, but if you forgot to charge the TV, if the battery runs out or something happens to the wall, then the TV will automatically detect it, and the TV will detach itself from the suction plate. The suction plate will still stay on the wall. The TV will detach itself from the suction plate, zip lines slowly to the ground safely.
So there's two
Yeah, right.
wire zip lines. So it's not just one, right? You know, where it's kind of
Yep.
all over the place. And it's like a, how would you describe it?
It's like a rock
zip-
climber.
It is, it's like
Yeah,
a
it's-
zip line. And
There's,
it's
there's
just
no
slowly-
chance of it then just dropping then.
No,
No,
so it's
no.
basically it's going to land very slowly, and it auto levels so that
Yeah.
you know, even if there are objects in between, like while it's going down, it will automatically adjust.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is the TV should never drop, and it will slowly land itself down and then lay flat on the ground.
Yeah.
Really?
So that it's completely safe.
Yep.
And the suction plate can be on the wall for 2-3 days. But even then, if it falls, it's very light, so
Yep.
it's not going to be making any damage.
And so what about charging that? Like then, is it just a standard IEC?
Yeah,
or-
it's a standard like power adapter. We have a push to pop,
Yeah.
like a charging thing. In our TV, everything is push to pop because we want to keep everything clean.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about the legs, right? Because this was a really interesting story. Because once again, when I first saw it, there was no legs. Because why do you need legs, right? Because you're just sticking it to the wall.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And then
Yeah. So
What happened?
This is one of the things that we heard from a lot of customers that hey, we want to put this by the pool, and then we want to take it back inside and put on the wall, right?
Yeah.
So how do you put on by the pool because there's no wall there? But if you want to put the legs, then it's a messy process if you have a detachable legs, and then you forget about it, and then it's
Yeah.
hard to basically screw it in. So we have a push to pop built-in legs. So
Okay. Just
yeah, you just push from the bottom of the TV,
Yeah.
the legs will pop off.
clever.
But here's a challenge because when you try to take the TV and put on the wall, then the leg should automatically fold. So that is a clever engineering that we did because it automatically folds, but at the same time it is very sturdy.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to pull it off the wall and then go,
Well,
how
that's
am I
right.
going to get the
Exactly,
legs?
right.
so you can deploy whilst it's on the wall, and you know you're going to take it off and put it on the ground.
Yeah.
You just put your fingers in there, boom, it pops out, and it's like spring loaded, so they kind of spread. Take it off the wall, and then they're ready to go, and it just bang, off you go. And then
Alright.
to put it away, you just push them back up. Like it's
Job's done.
super simple. The amount of times I've taken stands off and putting stands on, it drives me crazy. You get little screws, and you're trying to line the stand.
Screws.
Oh,
Right,
my
never
God.
find the stand.
Yeah,
never find the stand.
never find the screws.
Either. Balaji, so Pete is like he is some man for one man. Like he is a big, strong. He's got big arms.
Or whatever.
Me on the other hand,
Spaghetti arms.
I haven't got big arms. But so, like, how are we going to lift if you're a little person?
Yeah.
What's the weight of this thing?
So it's 25 pounds. It's super light.
What's that in kilos?
25
Kilos, it's probably about half that.
10 kilos?
25
it's
is
about 12.
12 and a half, 13
12.
kilos.
Okay,
12
it's not
kilos.
heavy.
It's not heavy at all. So
Yeah.
With the batteries in it.
So here's the thing. All these technologies that I was talking about, it's all built into
Yeah.
this TV, but it's still under 25 pounds.
That's insane.
So this has been an extremely challenging thing in terms of when it comes to design and engineering. But it is important to have it lightweight so that anyone can pick it up and then put on the wall. Which
Yeah.
is why the soundbars
Yeah.
and speakers are additional, so it's not including soundbars and speakers.
Okay. So how you
Well,
connect
it has speakers built into
Yeah.
it. It has its own speakers
Yeah,
built into
it has
Like-
internal speakers as well.
But you've also got external speakers available, which give it greater battery life, right? Because they've built, once again, thinking outside the box. They say, okay, well, if I want a bigger sound, I'm going to have to put external speakers on it. And you've built batteries into those speakers, and then once again, they just snap straight in as well. There's no cables.
There's no
as well.
cables.
There's no cables. It's amazing.
Yeah, we want to get rid of the cables. We want to get rid of the screwdrivers. You
Yeah.
don't have to assemble
Yeah.
anything. When you get the TV, it's out of the box. Just take it and pop it out.
bang and done?
Yeah.
Connect it to your Wi-Fi and off you go.
I'm sorry.
Connect to your Wi-Fi and
Connects to
away you go.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, so that's another thing because we have our own operating system.
Yeah.
It's an AI-powered operating system.
Okay.
It brings all content from the web.
Yeah.
Anything that you can imagine, even AVIXA TV. If you have a URL, you will be able to bring Tech Effect. If you have a URL, you'll be able to watch the content on the TV. That said, some people have preferences to have their own streaming devices. So we do have two HDMI ends,
Yeah.
but one of my favorite, it's like a small feature, but it's one of my favorite features is we have something called secret drawer. on the
I told you you had a
Se-
name for everything.
secret drawer.
secret drawer.
Secret drawer technology.
That's it.
Pop out feet technology.
Secret
Landing
drawer.
gear technology.
Landing
You've got
gear
it all.
technology, yeah. But secret drawer is not technology. It's actually a very cool feature.
Yep.
You push to pop. It's again push to pop. Secret drawer is if you have a Roku stick or Fire TV stick like a dongle.
Yeah.
You know how it's dangling on the TV today.
Yeah.
So
Always.
we provide a drawer that will provide both power and HDMI in. So you can actually put the dongle inside and then push it in, so it's clean and it is still going to let you use your favorite streaming devices.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could do anything if you want to, like from the Pro AV world. If you want to just transmit your laptop, just get a
That's it.
Miracast dongle or something along
Yep.
those lines. And
Yep.
just
Any
plug it
dongle.
straight in.
Yeah. Anything that goes to HDMI in, you'll be able to actually put in the secret drawer and then close it.
happy days.
But it's so clean. Like everything about it is so clean. Like there's no like you said, there's no external connectors or anything like that. Everything is hidden away, but still accessible when you need it. And they're all either on the side or on the bottom of the display, or on the top. What have you got on the top?
We have a camera built in, so it's also push to pop. I keep saying push to pop because it's all built in. So the cameras you can push to pop out when you do meetings like Zoom calls or Google Meets or Teams. And then for privacy reasons, if you don't want the camera, you can actually slide it in.
Yeah.
Push it in, and it's completely turned off. It's a mechanical switch, so you cannot actually turn it on automatically.
And that comes standard.
That comes with every TV, yes.
Okay. So let me just, as my brain keeps working. When
It's too good to be true.
I know, it's like that, isn't it? So when you put the speakers on,
Yeah.
they're on the bottom or they're on the side?
They're on the bottom. Again,
Okay.
push to pop.
Okay.
So
So then what happens to the landing gear?
So that's a good question. So all these speakers and soundbars are attached to the TV directly using the connectors that are popped out.
Okay.
Right? So the TV can actually land itself down along with the speakers and soundbars. If you have speakers and soundbars, it's going to stay vertical, which is even better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the suction cups, it can hold up to 300 pounds vertical force. So,
Wow.
so the speakers and soundbars can add probably like 50 to 60 pounds to the TV. So the total weight of the TV along with speakers and soundbars would be like 80 pounds.
Yep.
But suction cups can easily hold over 300 pounds.
That's crazy.
It's pretty
Thanks, you.
amazing, isn't it?
You'll be right.
What?
You can hang off it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is, and you really have to see it to believe it, like,
Yeah.
or to really like get your head around it, because like you think, okay, well, screen on a wall, blah blah blah, but it's like you really have thought of everything. Like, I mean, even the remote control. I mean,
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah.
about the remote control.
Yeah, so we do have what we call as controller, because it's technically not a remote.
I know, it's a-
right, it's a
yeah,
controller.
yeah.
So I always correct people that no, it's not a remote control,
Yeah.
it's controller, even though it's the same. But we call it as controller because it's a multi-touch controller. So it's not like a regular plasticky thing, but we also have that kind of a haptic feedback that you would get normally in the plastic remote controls. But the whole idea is you have a trackpad on the multi-touch controller that you can actually use it to control the TV.
Yeah.
But it also is going to serve as a second screen experience for you. You're watching a game and you'll be able to see like scores and player profiles and all the stuff on your second screen. So that is the whole idea.
And it has little. So it's basically it kind of looks similar to like an iPhone, really. I mean, it's like all touch, and then you've got you have different icons on there. You know,
Right.
like maybe Netflix and YouTube and stuff, and you can just scroll through it.
Right.
And then if you need a keyboard on the trackpad, the keyboard comes up, so you can
Yeah.
actually type something.
That's
in.
kind of
I
my
was like,
that's kind of my question. I was sort of like the OS that you've got, and if you want to have anything, you know, a URL, then you've got to be able to type that in, and remotes are
Right.
apparently terrible for that.
Right. Yeah, typing sucks in all the TVs, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the multi-touch is going to be giving you that same phone-like experience for you.
Yeah.
But it's a dedicated device for the TV. And one controller can control multiple TVs as well. So if you have multiple TVs, you can actually switch between TVs from one controller.
Yeah.
You will be able to type the URL, you'll be able to type your password. You don't even actually have to type on the screen. You can type on your controller, it'll automatically be sent to the TV. So it provides a lot more easy to use experience that we are normally accustomed to from the phones, but now we can apply that to the TV as well.
Wow, that's sensational. So
and if you don't want to use the remote, or you don't want to type something in, or what other options do you have?
So we will be introducing an app for your phone,
Yeah.
for sure. That'll be a standard one. So, but the controller.
What about voice?
Yes, voice is. Sorry, thanks for
Wait,
reminding
there's
me.
more.
So we do have our own voice assistant called Hey Displace, and the AI search is one of the highlights here, because I told you that our operating system is based on the AI backend.
Yeah.
So the first feature that we are introducing is the search. As you can imagine, like the search on TV is very common, like not for entertainment, but you could say play the clip from Few Good Men where Jack Nicholson says you cannot handle the truth. It'll immediately find the clip. It'll play the clip right, like instantly, and then you could have a conversation on top of that. You could say, "Oh, how about the first clip where Tom Cruise plays baseball?" And then you don't have to say it's a Few Good Men. It will automatically understand. Then you can immediately change the context, saying that no, okay, find me something like a formula for a volume of a prism. Then it'll take you to ChatGPT. So our AI search will take you to the right spots. Our job is not to bring the right answers to you, but
It's AI for AI.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah. It's like taking to the right spot where you will find the answers for you.
Yeah. Super cool.
What doesn't it do? I mean,
What doesn't it do? Yeah, well, all I can say, Balaji, is welcome to the world of Pro AV.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's going to be so many applications.
And we're really glad that you're here, because, as I said, you've always shown innovation, and I think we love innovation at InfoComm, and I think you've really brought that in spades with your Displace solution. So.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you so much. InfoComm has been a blast for us. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, Pete,
Yes.
thank you for coming on the show. That's we
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
it, Balaji.
thank you.
And you're on booth
873.
873. Displace.
Go and check them out if you haven't.
World's first fully wireless TV.
World's fully wireless TV. I didn't believe it when you first told me.
I know.
Anyway.
I know. You never believe
Pete, that's a wrap from us.
it. Yes.
We are here, not the same bat time, not the same bat well, same bat channel, not the same bat time tomorrow.
Half an hour earlier.
Half an hour early, 3:30.
3:30.
We kick off. So thanks again to AVIXA TV. Pete, good to see you. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.